Hi friends, it's Terry Gaines. In this video, I'm going to share some cards I created with the Apple Harvest stamp set. This stamp set is in Stampin' Up's mini catalog, the July through December 2022 catalog on page 54. The stamp set has 8 images and it has some coordinating dies that are available during Stampin' Up's Perfect Partner promotion, which runs September 1st through the 30th. Stampin' Up has 6 different dies that coordinate with 6 different stamp sets, and these are only available during the Perfect Partners promotion, which runs the month of September. Please note they are only available while supplies last, and I'm going to be sharing the Apple Blossoms dies with you. If you purchase the stamp set and the dies together, you have a 10% savings. The dies have 25 dies. 4 of them will cut out the 4 images in the stamp set, and then you have all of these additional dies. This is one die that's going to cut this small scalped edge, and then it's going to have the top piece and the bottom piece that it's cut out from. So there's so much versatility. I'm going to be showing you 5 cards I created, and these are the cardstock colors that I use for my cards. You are free to, when you recreate these cards, to pick different colors, but I chose all the apples to be colored in with the Cherry Cobbler Dark Blend. Then I have also, I'm using the Petal Pink blends, the Granny Apple Green blends, and then I'm going to use a Dark Crumb Cake blend. Along with using the cardstock and the blends, I'm going to use some white baker's twine and some 1/4 inch white crinkled ribbon, and a few of the cards are embellished with some the pearls, the basic pearls. And I used all of these products for all 5 cards. My inspiration for the cards are from some card samples that are in the January through June 2022 mini catalog on page 8. And the inspiration for the cards were from these 5 samples. And back in February, I created a card sketch using that page and those samples for the inspiration. And I also have 5 cards that I created back in February that I will link in my blog how to get to the blog post that I can share. I shared these cards, but the inspiration is from the same card samples and the same card sketch. So each of the card sketches are created on a card base that is either 4 1/4 by 11 scored at 5 1/2 and folded in half, or your card base can be 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 scored at 4 1/4 and folded in half. So you decide how you want your card base, but that's the size of the card base. And then each card sketch is going to give you the dimension of the layers for the different cards. And keep in mind, you can add additional layers. And also it's going to show you where a decorative image is placed on the card. That decorative image can be any size or shape. The bow is always optional for your project. So for the first card I'm going to share with you, I have used, this one would be this card sketch right here, card sketch C as shown in the catalog. And what I did was I added some additional layers. I wanted to pop out the Petal Pink and the Cherry Cobbler colors that I used on the image. And so I added additional layers. I texturized all of my layers, my basic white layers, with the 3D timber. And then if you can see a little bit of shine on those apples in that image, once I stamped with the Memento ink, colored in my images, I put some packing tape. I put this clear packing tape over the image. Then I cut it out with the dies so I could get a glossy sheen on that image. And then for the thanks on this piece, it is using a longer die. It is using this die right here, and I'm going to show you a sample of what I did. So here I have the thanks, and I stamped it, and then I cut it out. Then I laid the die over it again, ran it through my die cutting machine so I could get a shorter version of this decorative banner. So that's how I created those in a smaller fashion. And again, I used packing tape on that. So I have the dark Cherry Cobbler, and then here I have both the light and the dark for the Petal Pink. So that is one card that I've created. For this card, I also added some additional layers. I wanted to get that cherry cobbler to pop out here. I did not put packing tape on this image, and I have a little bit of baker's twine up here. And each of these layers I texturize with the 3D timber folder along with the basic white layer. So as I mentioned, you can change up the colors. I used cherry cobbler and granny apple green. You can change up these colors to be a different color. But as I mentioned, the inspiration was from the card samples. For this card sample, I'm using this card sketch, and I used the tailor-made tags to cut out these different tags, and I just tore the edges. The top one is texturized. Again, I used the packing tape on just the apple, and then I used the dies for the leaves. What I did do was trim off part of this image and then just attached the die cut leaf right on top of that. And then I have the ribbon wrapped around. So that is another card sketch. For this card sketch, it's representing this, or this card is representing this card sketch. Added more layers to it. And here I just used the die cuts for the blossoms and for the branch and for the leaves, and just added several of those and attached them all with mini glue dots. So that was a fun card to make. And as I mentioned, you can change up the color. Here's another card, and this one is representing this card sketch. I added one more layer for the card base, but I did use the dimensions here. And again, I shortened this banner because this banner was a little bit longer, so I shortened it just like I showed you for this image. And then these are also with the packing tape added to them, and popped up this with dimensionals. So these are some fun cards for you to create. I do have a PDF that you can download from my blog, and it is showing all 5 of the cards I just shared with you. I also have a link to download this card sketch if you'd like this for a reference. And then I have a supply list, the code numbers, and which cards I've used the different products on. There will be a link to this video, so you can download and save this PDF and click on the link to get this video to share some details about the projects. I hope you enjoyed these cards and found this video helpful. I would love to have you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the red box under the video, then select the red bell to be notified when I upload a new video. Thanks for stopping by. Take care and happy creating.